Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Congratulations to all the winners last night, Republican winners last night. That was something. And thank you, voters. I appreciate it. You have no idea. I was traumatized by the Democrats over the last 6 years. 888-775-3773. Craig Huey is with me. Craig, how did we do in California with the judges? And by the way, I went to your website, I printed out your voter guide, and I used that at the poll. So thank you for that.
That is awesome. And if anybody wants to keep up on what's happening, if they went to the website, they can sign up. We have a newsletter and updates, and we're going to have a complete analysis of this election, and it's going to just blow your listeners' mind. Some of these things that we're going to be discussing and some of the candidates we're going to highlight of what actually happened. But Jesse, you know, with this, we've had these websites for 10 years telling people how to vote for the judges and how to vote for the state and national candidates. And for the first time, and I have to apologize to your listeners that they tried to do this, for the first time ever, we had a hack attack where starting on late Thursday and increasing incredibly on Monday and Tuesday.
Wow!
Somebody was hacking that our server company could not be able to stop, and so a lot of people were getting error messages and stuff. This has never happened. And I apologize, and we're going to figure out security ways of protecting it next time. But we had so many people afraid about how we rated these candidates, how we exposed who these judges were, that we created some enemies, and somehow some people got together and did it. You know, the judges are so hard to tell how to vote. The Daily Coast is a left-wing website and newsletter, Daily Coast, and they have a huge following. The left follows this website, and they were talking about the judges. And they told people to go to our website and vote the opposite.
Wow!
Because they didn't know how to rate the judges. So. Here's the thing. In California, we had two radical left-wing community activists who were California Supreme Court judges. And while we broke down the amount of their win, they still won. We had to get 50 plus 1 vote no. And this goes back to we need to educate the conservatives of who these judges are, as well as what the issues are, and then the church. We talked yesterday about the church and the fact that so many Christians, where I went to the poll, I saw people in the church sitting there while people were out voting. I can tell you that at least half the people, 45% of the people in that evangelical church were not registered to vote, and then probably close to 65 to 70%, maybe a little bit more, of those who are registered were sitting there in their meetings and their Bible studies and their women's groups and whatever was going on, and they did not go to the poll. And what they were doing is they were allowing others to direct the nation and direct the election. And here in California, it had devastating consequences. We've got some really bright spots in California, in the Assembly and the State Senate and in Congress, but we could have done so much better. There was a conservative evangelical mayor of Fresno who was running for controller. There was a conservative evangelical running to clear up the voter fraud in California. And he was running for Secretary of State. They came surprisingly close to getting close to having a competitive race, but the Republican Party ignored them. Republican Party didn't put any money in.
Wow.
And the conservatives and the Christians, they were basically on the sideline and out of play in California. And our values are under attack.
Yes.
As never ever before.
Yeah.
And for those, whether you're religious or not, whether you're a Jew or a Christian, when we see these attacks on religious liberty that are growing in America, this is a time to say enough is enough. We've got First Amendment rights, we've got constitutional rights, and it's time to speak up, time to stand up, and time to stand firm and say we've got to be able to protect Christians as well as everybody else.
I agree.
And the church is not doing it.
Man, and just imagine, as we said yesterday, if the Christians got out and vote, things would be different in this town for sure.
Huge. And there was more activity in some of these states, like South Carolina and North Carolina. There were probably 8 or 9 states where that statistic I gave to you about the number of evangelical Christians who are not registered and who don't go to the poll, that changed.
Yeah.
Because there was a concentrated effort to go and activate the church vote. And that was the thing that the media didn't see. And some of these key states in Colorado, nobody thought that a pro-abortion senator would lose and to a pro-life a person who nobody gave a chance to. But what they didn't see was the incredible increase in the conservative Catholic and the evangelical Christian vote.
Right on.
And that was because there was a targeted, concentrated effort in some of these states, and it took the media by surprise. It took the polls. These were considered low propensity voters who wouldn't go to the poll. But Jesse, they went to the poll.
Right on. Craig, do you want to give out your website?
Sure. You can check out the website, sign up for the newsletter, get this analysis of some of the key candidates and issues by going to electionforum.org. That's electionforum.org. Or they could go to craighuey.com, and that's craighuey.com. So electionforum.org or craighuey.com, and they can sign up, and they will be amazed at some of the things I'm going to put into the upcoming issues.
No, it's an excellent site, and people around the country use your guides and your site. So it really is an excellent. It helped me out yesterday, like 90 going north. It was very good.
Great.
Well, Craig, thank you, man, for what you're doing. I know we're going to be having you back often, and I appreciate your work. And thank you. But I do want to ask one. No, I can't. I'm going to ask you about Tom Cotton. He's something else. I'm not real familiar with him. Are you able to hold just for a minute and tell us about him?
Sure.
Okay. Let me just hold you over for a second. When I come back from this break, tell us about Tom Cotton, and then we'll let you run. And I'll take some calls as well. Back in a moment, folks.